Overnight, a grainy fan video zoomed in on Beyonce's Juneteenth concert tee. 5 words on the back screamed, "Warring Indians, the enemies of peace." Within hours, hashtag Cancel Beyonce rocketed onto X's trending slate as Indigenous creators stitched takedowns faster than the Bayhive could reload the clip. Newsrooms from AP to The Guardian lit up with push alerts about anti-Indigenous language. And suddenly, the Cowboy Carter victory lap felt more like a history class landmine. Why would the most media-savvy superstar toss a live grenade into her own merch line? Stick around, because that single sentence was only the fuse. Paris, June 19th, the night Beyonce flipped Juneteenth from solemn remembrance to stadium-shaking pageant. One spotlight burst, a drum crack of fiddle and banjo, and there she was in a weather-worn Buffalo Soldiers tee, ink the color of gunmetal, cotton cut to show its miles on the road. From the floor seats, the graphic looked like vintage Americana, but zoomed phone cameras told another story. On the back, a 19th century recruiter's boast unspooled. Their antagonists were the enemies of peace, order, and settlement. Warring Indians, bandits, cattle thieves, murderous gunmen, bootleggers, trespassers, and Mexican revolutionaries. Suddenly, history's footnote was stamped across 70,000 LED wristbands. Clips reached X before the encore. Screenshots of the phrase "Warring Indians" pulsed next to the tour's Cowboy Carter hashtag, colliding Black pride with Indigenous pain. By dawn, culture reporters were quoting Indigenous scholars who called the line textbook erasure. And commentators asked why the world's savviest brand builder risked romanticizing a regiment that once enforced westward expansion. Adding fuel, Beyonce's own website posted glossy shots of the tee on its carousel, proof this wasn't a one-off wardrobe whim, but a curated statement. Fans scoured the merch store. The shirt wasn't there, yet its digital ghost refused to fade. Fans hit record on their phones, and history slammed into Twitter at 5G speed. Think Buffalo Soldiers, and you might picture brass-fitted heroes charging across sepia plains. But the original regiments, formed in 1866, spent 2 full generations escorting settlers, guarding railroads, and pushing westward by force. Roughly 1/5 of all U.S. cavalry fighting the Indian Wars wore those dark blue uniforms, logging at least 177 armed clashes with native nations. Their legend carries a double edge. To many Black historians, the units represent rare post-emancipation mobility. Black troopers earning steady pay and, for a moment, respect. Yet, Indigenous accounts remember them as unflinching enforcers who cleared tribal lands for white homesteads. Kiowa storytellers gave them the Buffalo nickname for both grit and the deep brown of their hair. Fast forward to 2025. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter era leans hard into rodeo iconography. Lassos, saddle shots, a stars and stripes bodice, explicitly reclaiming a Western aesthetic that once shut Black artists out of country charts. The album's press rollout flaunted that symbolism as a power move, framing her as the new sheriff of Nashville. Trouble is, one person's reclamation can feel like another's erasure, and the next backlash wave was already cresting. 3 million views in 9 hours. That's how fast TikTok historian at Confirm Samaya sliced the shirt's slogan frame by frame, calling it a Manifest Destiny bumper sticker masquerading as couture. Her duet sparked a chain reaction. Creator at Two Spruce Voices overlaid archival cavalry photos of scorched Kiowa camps, then asked, "Peace for whom?" The clip detonated across Indigenous Twitter, where the freshly minted hashtag Erase the Shirt surged past 140,000 posts before lunchtime. Legacy media chased the blaze. AP ran a wire piece quoting Cherokee journalist Graham Lee Brewer, who argued the shirt launders genocide into a feel-good frontier myth. Hours later, ABC, The Independent, and half a dozen regional stations echoed the critique, transforming a merch table mishap into a frontline debate about whose histories pop culture gets to remix. Meanwhile, activist group Illumi Native fired an open letter demanding a public apology and a Juneteenth donation to boarding school survivor funds. Their petition crossed 25,000 signatures in a single afternoon, ironically outpacing Beyonce's own fan club newsletter subscriptions for the week. Next, the merch table itself gets dragged into the battlefield because dollars talk louder than hashtags. Sunrise brought accountants, not stylists, to the group chat. Industry trackers estimate a Beyonce stadium stop moves 30,000 pieces of merch at roughly $80 each, numbers that pushed her Renaissance run toward a potential $171 million haul, $8 and $10 dropping straight into Parkwood's coffers. Forbes.com hiphopdx.com. Strip out the glitter and it works out to about $60 spent per fan, a figure ticketing platforms call the new golden head count for arena tours. So when fans discovered the Buffalo Soldiers tee wasn't even listed on the official store yet, but still flashed across a hero carousel on Beyonce.com, speculation exploded. Was this a surprise tour-only drop? A marketing test balloon? Or a design that slipped past legal just as the trucks left the warehouse? Every unanswered minute risked real money. Screenshots of the slogan flooded resale apps, where opportunists hawked bootleg copies at $250 a pop, nearly triple arena stand prices, turning a PR landmine into scalper gold. Meanwhile, merch company impresarios whispered about contract kill fees. If Beyonce pulled the design mid-tour, manufacturers could bill her team for tens of thousands in unsold stock. Brand strategists saw the deeper quake. Forbes' crisis marketing column warned that activist-flavored products must clear 3 filters: authenticity, historical accuracy, and ally impact, or risk detonating in the checkout line. Translation: one wrong sentence can wipe out 8 figures in hoodie money and years of goodwill. By daybreak, the Bayhive's velvet-roped unity had torn into 2 buzzing swarms. On Reddit, a single r/pop culture chat post racked up 1,500 upvotes and 589 comments in 12 hours. Equal parts praise for honoring Black cavalry heroes and fury at colonial cosplay. Another thread inside r/Beyonce ping-ponged between history lesson links and eye-roll emojis until moderators locked replies for excessive heat. X, Twitter, was worse. Indigenous allies rallied under #EraseTheShirt, while stan defenders fired back with #ProtectBlackHistory, pushing the latter past 90,000 mentions by lunchtime according to X's live counter. The dueling hashtags turned timelines into trench lines, every new think piece screenshot spawning quote tweets like shrapnel, every attempted nuance drowned by gifs of flaming lasso twirls. Offline, friendships warped. A viral TikTok showed college roommates packing separate concert outfits, one swapping her Buffalo Soldiers tee for a blank thrift store tank, the other double-knotting hers in unapologetic solidarity. Commenters kept score with popcorn emojis. Beyoncé herself stayed silent, but the vacuum only amplified armchair generals. Some insisted the slogan merely quoted a 19th century poster. Others accused Parkwood of brand-washing manifest destiny. Even professional historians were drafted into Spaces chats, teaching crash courses on the Indian Wars between audible mic glitches. Marketers everywhere take notes, because the real lesson lands now. Brand analysts call it the Pepsi effect, one glossy activist gesture that detonates into a PR crater. Kendall Jenner's 2017 Cola Can peace offering tanked in 24 hours. Dior's 2019 Sauvage campaign, Johnny Depp in war bonnet chic, was yanked before the billboards even dried. Each fiasco followed the same fatal arc: good intention message, thin historical homework, thunderous backlash. Beyoncé's tee was barreling down that identical track until it hit her own 3-filter checkpoint. According to a Forbes crisis branding rubric, any social justice merch must clear authenticity. Is this your lived lane? Accuracy? Did historians sign off? And ally impact? Who cashes in? Who pays the tax? Her Cowboy Carter era nails the first, but the Buffalo Soldiers quote flunked the other 2. It romanticized a regiment some indigenous nations remember as occupiers, and profits flowed solely to Parkwood, not to communities forced off the plains. Failed 2 filters, the rubric warns, and the cash register morphs into a megaphone for outrage. Now every step Beyoncé takes is a tightrope walk between cultural reclamation and collateral erasure. Pull the shirt and critics may claim victory. Keep it and the narrative freezes around a 5-word slogan. Even a mid-tour apology carries risk. Remember how Pepsi's mea culpa only fed the meme mill? So where does Queen Bee go from here? One screen-printed sentence just pitted 2 centuries of frontier myth against the world's most powerful fan army. Will Beyoncé edit history? Or will history edit her? Drop your verdict below and tell us the biggest merch misfire you've ever seen. If you're hungry for more pop culture plot twists, tap subscribe before the next tour bus rolls out.